There's a new poll out. It surveyed leftists in this country, despite getting shellacked in the last election, defeated by the America First coalition. A poll from Survey USA showed that 50% of Democrats want their party to go further left. You heard that right. The same policies that got him kicked out of office, they want to triple down on those policies and go even further to the left. They say they agree with avowed socialist lawmakers like Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who are calling on the party to oppose the America First coalition more aggressively. And you know what that means? That means more terrorist attacks on Tesla dealerships, more lawlessness, more abuse at the hands of a totalitarian government. Left-wingers want more of that. Despite rejection, Democrats still seek to impose their will. That's my focus in today's preamble. Your wishes don't really matter to the America Last coalition. I'm sorry to break it to you. As I've told you before, it's why leftists gravitate to government and unfair media. They will lie, steal, cheat, break the law, almost anything to attain and keep that power to tell you what to do. In my home state of Texas, voters elected Republicans in overwhelming numbers to run the state. But in a den of vipers known as the Texas House, 36 of those fake Republicans voted with 49 leftists to install a Democrat-approved speaker, leading to nonsense like this. In a state that has outlawed abortion with the exception of the life of the mother, the Democrats, who really run the Texas House, are set to honor one of the most prominent figures in an industry that slaughters children in the womb for profit. Cecile Richards. Richards is the former president of the butcher shop, Planned Parenthood, and daughter of former Texas Democrat Governor Ann Richards. Texas voters rejected the party of death. 36 fake Republicans really don't care. Keeping it in Texas, my buddy Ben Ferguson is sounding the alarm about a bill that has been drafted, SB 336. This, in its current form, would strip away protections from conservative talk radio and free speech by undermining the Texas anti-SLAPP law. It's a law designed to stop leftists from trying to silence dissenting voices by burying them in court paperwork and legal fees. The bill is supported on the House side by one of those fake Republicans I mentioned earlier, Jeff Leach. I have assurances from the Senate sponsor, Senator Brian Hughes, that the bill is not ready for prime time and will not be heard until it both addresses known abuses of the SLAPP law while also protecting essential free speech. Where I trust the senator, I have no reason to trust a fake Republican who turned over control of the Texas House to Democrats, even knowing the damage that party has done to our country over the last 2 decades. Let's turn our attention to the national stage, shall we? As you know, devotees to leftists worked tirelessly to undermine the first Trump administration. I'm sad to report the effort to thwart the America First agenda has not stopped. The Pentagon has placed 2 top political appointees under administrative leave on Tuesday after a probe into leaks of sensitive information. Dan Caldwell, a senior advisor to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Darren Selnick, the Pentagon's deputy chief of staff, were suspended as part of the probe and escorted out of the building, according to officials. In a radio interview this morning, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer told me, "We can trace these men back to the Bush administration." As you know, the Bushes have expressed their disdain for President Trump while remaining silent on myriad abuses, indignities, and losses of freedom America has suffered under Barack Obama, for example. Remember, of these leakers, these people think it's their right to do this. Funny how these leakers never leak stuff, like the Epstein list or information on the 2 assassination attempts against President Trump. And yesterday we told you how leftists in and out of the press are doubling down on importing and keeping illegal alien criminal terrorist gang members in America and roaming our streets. Today, Democrats announced some of them will fly to El Salvador to demand the release of an El Salvadoran citizen from prison so that the criminal can be brought back to the U.S.
A Maryland man who's the father of 3 in a notorious prison in El Salvador. And I believe the president of El Salvador will recognize why it's important to allow him to return to the United States of America.
Well, let's review. Kilmer Armando Abrego Garcia is a citizen of El Salvador. Abrego Garcia was an illegal alien in the United States without authorization. 2 judges have ruled that Abrego Garcia is likely a member of MS-13. The DHS Secretary Kristi Noem released this information, quote, "This was just one of those examples of an individual that is a MS-13 gang member, multiple charges and encounters with the individuals here, trafficking in his background. He was found with other MS-13 gang members, very dangerous person, and what the liberal left and fake news are doing to turn him into a media darling is sickening," end quote. This is the man who Democrats want to bring back.
The Vice President of the United States tweeted out that he had a criminal record. That was a lie. They're just lying. They've gotten caught lying. They don't want to admit it. And they have an obligation to bring him home.
Who's lying? Abrego Garcia is at the very least an illegal alien by any definition, a lawbreaker, a criminal. Let's forget the human trafficking. Let's forget the MS-13 gang affiliation. Let's forget about the crimes the El Salvadorian government is holding him on. Van Hollen says, bring him home? He is home, Senator. He's a citizen of El Salvador. That is his home. The U.S. is not or should not be home to illegal aliens. Oh, and about his conduct while he was here as an uninvited guest in my country. According to court documents, a protective order was issued for Jennifer Vasquez. The protective order was to keep Kilmar Abrego Garcia from his significant other. The case listed domestic abuse as the cause for the order. We have not determined if a trial had been set to address the accusations of domestic abuse. Democrats want criminal, illegal alien terrorist gang members in your country. What do you, as Americans, want? And don't you find it strange when one of the Democrats' illegal alien darlings who Democrats allowed to break into our country rapes and murders an American, Democrats couldn't care less? How many Democrats have you seen celebrating an illegal alien killer being brought to justice for killing one of our people? Do Democrats, move heaven and earth to help Americans? No, only illegal alien criminals are top of their list. I care. The America First Coalition cares. But leftists and their fake GOP enablers, they don't. As for me, your liberty-loving Latino, I can hardly wait for the campaign commercials to roll out in the midterms. Vote Democrat, the pro-terrorist, pro-illegal alien, pro-criminal, pro-domestic abuse, pro-slaughtering of children, pro-law-breaking party. And to all of you subversives who still dare to call yourselves Republicans, you won't escape your ties and culpability with these leftists. The America First 80-20 coalition is awake and paying attention. That's really bad news for you folks in the America Last crowd. Folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.